Under the weight of a sky heavy with clouds, Lyra stumbled upon the road. It appeared where there had been nothing moments before, a cobbled path winding through a forest cloaked in mist. Grief had dulled her senses since she'd lost her sister, yet the road seemed to hum with a quiet invitation. With nowhere else to go, she stepped onto it, unaware her journey had already begun. The path stretched endlessly, its surface glowing faintly underfoot. At first, Lyra walked alone, the silence punctuated only by her thoughts. But soon, she encountered others, a stooped man clutching a broken locket, a warrior with haunted eyes, and a young girl who carried a withered flower. Each traveler bore sorrow as heavy as her own, though their stories were as different as their worlds. They walked together, bound by the unspoken understanding of shared pain. As they journeyed, the road challenged them. In a valley shrouded in twilight, they faced shadowy illusions of their greatest regrets. Lyra saw her sister reaching for her, heard her voice echoing with blame. The illusions would not fade until Lyra whispered an apology, not to her sister, but to herself, for carrying the guilt she had no reason to bear. At a river where the water ran gold, they were asked to leave behind a memory of their loved ones. The warrior refused, clutching his pain as if it were a shield. Lyra hesitated but knelt by the bank and cupped the water in her hands. As it flowed through her fingers, she released the image of her sister's final day, choosing to remember the joy they had shared instead. The road carried them through breathtaking worlds, a sky where stars hung so low they could touch them, a field of flowers that sang, and a city built of crystal that reflected their faces. Each trial the road offered was an invitation to confront their sorrow and reshape it. When the end of the road came into view, Lyra felt lighter, though the ache of loss remained. But she realized something had changed, her sorrow no longer chained her, it had become a part of her story, not its entirety. The other travelers, too, stood taller, their burdens eased. They parted ways at the road's end, offering quiet words of thanks. As Lyra stepped off the enchanted path, she turned to look back. The road shimmered before vanishing into the air, leaving her in a world that felt brighter, fuller. She carried her sister's memory, not as a wound, but as a light to guide her forward. The journey had taught her that even in the deepest grief, there could be beauty, connection, and the possibility of joy.